Bună seara, sunt Mihai Hurezeanu. În această seară, la ediția noastră specială, vorbim despre cel mai vechi și îndrăgit brand comercial al orașului nostru, Ursus, berea Ursus. Un produs care se consumă de vreo 7000 de ani în lume, începând de la sumerieni. La Cluj se produce și se consumă de peste 130 de ani. În Evul Mediu, berea era produsă și vândută în mănăstiri. În era modernă, desigur, producția de bere a trecut de la o fază artizanală la o fază industrială. Actualmente, în întreaga lume, se consumă peste 130 de miliarde de litri de bere, profitul anual global fiind de peste 300 de miliarde de dolari. Există doar 4 multinaționale care controlează cea mai mare parte a producției și a distribuției de bere, dar există de asemenea mii de producători regionali și există de asemenea tendința de reîntoarcere la producția artizanală, la producția de pub. Există multe mii de puburi care își produc propria bere. Ursus a suferit anul trecut, la sfârșitul anului trecut, compania mamă. Acestea sunt tribulațiile globalizării. A anunțat sistarea producției industriale la Cluj, fapt ce a produs amărăciune în oraș și a lezat patriotismul local. Iată însă că Ursus nu lasă în spate un tărâm sterb, precum se întâmplă de obicei, ci încearcă un experiment inedit, se întoarce și construiește o bere specială, o bere croită doar pentru gustul clujenilor, o bere croită împreună cu ei și de asemenea, deci calitatea va fi prevalentă cantității și de asemenea vom vedea o calitate și a unei noi dimensiuni de implicare a acestei companii în viața comunității noastre. În această seară stăm de vorbă despre acest experiment Ursus cu Hugh Grant McKenzie, este vicepreședinte pentru marketing al firmei Ursus România. Welcome to the broadcast, sir.
Bună seara, Mihai. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Thank you for coming. We can try a little play of words and say welcome to the beer cast. Ursus is coming back in style to Cluj. First, I want to ask you, as I said, I'm not sure if you understood me totally, although you've been a while in Romania. As you are aware, as you remember last year in November when the mother company, Submiller, announced the shutting down of the production facilities of beer in Cluj. There was an uproar of emotional uproar, a little bit of wounded feelings, you know. People felt a little betrayed, felt that the bigger multinational mother wasn't so motherly towards them. And there were even politicians calling for boycott of beer for the king of beers in Romania. But you didn't just left Cluj. You're coming back, and you're building these mini facilities for a special new beer, a new brand, tailored just for Cluj. And I'd like you to tell us about it a little bit.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the people of Cluj for being so involved in our project. You're right, and we understand that in November people were concerned about the future of Ursus in Cluj. People were asking questions whether we were going to leave, what we were going to do with the brand on a national level, but also at Cluj. And we had a very big ambition, which was actually to create the best, maybe not the biggest, but the best brewery in Romania, and once again to feature it in Cluj, to do something unique in the world of Submiller. So this has never been done before in our company, but to open a production facility that produces outstanding specialty beer just for the local community. We're very excited that people have engaged with this project. And actually in the past 2 months what's happened is we've involved just over 5,000 people from Cluj voted on the name, which was Fabrica de Bere Ursus. They also voted for the logo. And a week on Saturday, if you're here, you're welcome, where they're going to select the beer.
April the 16th?
Yeah.
Next Saturday, yeah.
So we have 3 beers that we've developed by our master brewer, and the people of Cluj, a representative number of them, will choose which one we start to make. So it's a very, very exciting moment for us. Our expectation is that the first production, the first real beers, will be towards the end of May, and the first part of what will be, I think, a fantastic location will open at the end of May, in time for the Cluj days. Probably the full facility and all of the rest of the spaces will open about 2 to 3 weeks after then, because what we're doing is so special. We're chasing ourselves to make sure everything's ready, but we're doing things in record time. So it's going to be something
making
special.
us very excited and curious about. It's interesting that you, such a global corporation, large corporation, is trying this experiment of going in reverse, like trying to go back to a more traditional art, kind of craft and crafty way of making beer. Is there any analogy between this model and that one known as microbrewing, which is like a kind of counterweight to the mass-produced, mass-consumed beer, and has this, like you said, special quality adjusted to the taste of the local people? And
well, I think it's a good question. I mean, honestly, our inspiration for this came from 2 places. One was the people of Cluj, and the fact that for 133 years, Ursus has been recognized by consumers the king of beer in Romania. It's actually a democratic monarchy because it has to be elected every year. And actually, for us, it was a logical way of actually building on that identity. And you're absolutely right. Beer is an intensely local product. So unlike other categories where international brands usually go across the world, beer remains very, very local for a very important reason, that tastes in food products and drink products do differ, you know, on a national level and even on a regional level. But in addition to that, fresh beer tastes better. This is a fact. The great thing about mini breweries is that you can actually, you know, drink what was produced very, very, very recently. And actually one of the things we're doing is we're going to provide unpasteurized beer, which means fresh. It must be consumed in a few days after production. And this probably brings a little bit more richness, a bit more intenseness to the product experience. And we really hope that that's something that the Cluj people will enjoy. We're pretty sure they will. And that it's something, you know, we're dedicating this to them. We hope they feel proud of it, and it will become not only a local landmark, but actually a national one. So when people come to Cluj on business or to travel, they say, hey, we've got to go to that mini brewery of Ursus.
So this means like a larger involvement in the life of the community than just crafting this sort of beer, but also like trying to add to the rich texture of the urban life, of the cultural life, to touristic life of the city? Sure.
I think Cluj has been known for a long time to be the source of some of the best beer in Romania, and we want that to actually build on that by saying not only the best, it's the freshest, and something that you cannot get in the rest of Romania. So the specialities that we will produce in this location...
Yes, to do with water, maybe also water.
Well, all water is actually brewing grade, but I think that it's about the care and attention of the people. In the case of Ursus, it's also about the ingredients. So we're very, very selected. Ursus is 100% malt beer, and it only has 2 types of hops. From all the world, all the hops, only 2 are good enough, the Magnum and Hercules varieties, to go into Ursus. So that, plus I think the care of the Cluj, the Transylvanian people, they're what make the difference.
So it seems like your endeavor is going kind of artful at all levels, including the designing of the new facility, new brewery building.
That's right.
So
actually,
you have a special architecture, very original design, architectural design of the. Can you tell us about it a little?
I'd be happy to. Actually, you're right, because the theme, our concept and our inspiration was the art of beer in Cluj. And I think there are 2 parts to that. One is the art of beer, so how beer is made, demystifying that and showing it to the people. There will be giant windows where you can actually watch how beer is made through the different processes. You will see some of our former employees are coming to make this beer for us. Obviously they have a lot of skill and experience. It's very valuable to us. But also it's about Cluj. So many features of the brewery will be parts of the old plant used as an inspiration. So for example...
And there, I'm sorry, there is I think at least one body of construction or building there that historical. It's an historical landmark now.
Yes, that's right.
And Ursus engaged to protect it.
Of course. So the facade, the foundations of the historic site are being retained, and we're actually building around that all of the new facilities. So we'll have, for example, the old control panel from the real brewery will be a feature of the brewery. We will have Ursus bottle chandeliers. There are filters and pipes and many malt chutes, many components.
So you're going to use historical and also industrial artifacts from the old brewery.
Absolutely. Because we want this to be, the art of making beer in Cluj. So we also have found, and many people have generously donated many pictures from many years ago of real beer being made in Cluj. So they will also feature as an important element of the mini brewery. So pictures of when we used to, over 100 years ago, make beer. And actually, in those days, it really was open, you could see everything. It's fantastic for us. So we want people to engage people in the art of making beer in Cluj. That's really the concept.
Yes, so also the logo of the beer, the label of beer bottles were subject to this participatory democracy approach of yours. So people were voting through the website.
That's right.
We have a brand website.
We have a dedicated site actually for Cluj people, so ursus.ro Cluj VIP, where people can access information and vote on first of all the name, and then on the logo, and also to be involved in the beer selection, and there'll be further events that they will be specially invited to. It's very important to us that the Cluj people are involved in this, because it's really for them. So it was only natural for us to engage and work with them.
So there was also a stake in creativity, because I remember we were talking about those microbrews earlier.
Yeah.
They had all these wild, extravagant names, like I don't know, Drunk Monkey or Happy Dragon, or in different parts of where they are made.
Sure.
So the production, the output of this new brewery. Mini brewery will be just for the pub and the restaurant that will be on the premises?
Not only. So we will also selectively distribute the product, unfiltered, unpasteurized, to about 8 to 10 locations in Cluj. Specially selected ones by us, some of the top Ursus locations. We have a special draft tower and glassware and features in order to support that in those places. So only in Cluj, probably about 10 locations in total.
So people were already selected the name of the place, of the brewery. There were 4 versions.
Right. There were four versions. 2 of them were very close. 2 of them were weaker, so we took those out.
And the winner is?
And the winner is Fabrica de Beira Ursus.
So beer factory Ursus.
Yes. Then we had the logo development, which was selected a couple of weeks ago. So things are progressing quite well.
There is an original concept also in the interior design concept.
Well, it's very special. So we actually have 4 very different rooms. One room is called the laboratory, which features a real control panel from the brewery, and is themed around the idea of beer testing and development. We have the malt room, where it's like where we take malted barley, so the real malted shoots are there, and it gives you the feature of how the ingredients are used. We have, I guess we could call it the cathedral room, which features 2 chandeliers of Ursus beer bottles, some mosaics, and the bar. And then finally, and probably most importantly, we have the mini brewery seating area, where you can see through glass everything that's going on, how the beer is made. So 4 very distinct rooms. We also have, in the summer, a terrace at the front.
Yeah. So this is a collaboration project now, in which you involved few agencies and local companies.
That's right.
Can you tell us about them a little bit?
3D Studio One have been a Cluj agency, are doing the interior design for us. They're super passionate about this project. And we've worked with a number of local construction companies who are currently, as we speak, working on it, as well as some marketing communication companies. So Atelier and Trend Communication, Imagistica.
So this means that you're developing also communication strategy, which is also creative and targeting to the youth of the city. Its creative segments.
Actually, to a number of people. So we've done some publicity in newspapers. People asked us why did we go online, for the voting. I guess, two answers. One is it's very simple to vote and get engaged online. It's the best way we can connect with people. So when they join our club, we have 4,000 people in the Ursus Club in Cluj. We can connect with them. And also we talked to some of the older guys who admitted to us that I don't really know how to use the internet, but don't worry, my son does. So I'm going to vote through him. So it seemed like the logical way. And all of this year we will do marketing support for the mini brewery. For us, it's important that it's a big success.
Yeah. I know you lived and worked for a while in Prague.
Yes.
What is your assessment? What are the chances and the time range for Cluj? Geographically, we are in the same space, and historically. What are the chances for Cluj to gain that special, charming, mysterious identity of a Central Europe town? And what can be the contribution of beer to that?
Great question.
I'm talking about, very well, that Baroque atmosphere.
Of course.
That, like Prague is full of occult lore and wizardry, but the beer has an important, this magic elixir, beer has an important role in that, no?
Well, I must say that for me, Cluj already has magic. So I've been here 6 or 7 times. It's my favorite place to visit in Romania, and it has magic for me. I think I see a positive progress. So what it needs to get to where Prague is today is more development to clean up some of the buildings. The role of beer, I think, is clear, because in Prague you have Pilsner Urquell, which is the icon of the Czech Republic. We have Ursus. We have Ursus, which is commonly regarded as the king of beer in Romania. And I think the mini brewery and our job is to create fantastic beer experiences that when people and tourists come, and more of them will come, and our role is also to support those through, for example, our sponsorship of TIFF, Transylvanian International Film Festival. I was going
to mention that because Ursus is such an important player in sponsoring cultural events and also in supporting television programming, the quality television programming. And let's talk about TIFF. You were so instrumental in sponsoring the festival. This effort will continue?
Yes, of course.
Year editions and
yes,
following years?
We plan to be around the next few years as the main sponsor of TIFF. It's very important to us because I think for the development of Cluj, the benefit Prague has is 6.5 million visitors a year. Cluj doesn't quite have that many, but TIFF is one example of an event which can bring tourists from in and outside Romania. And it showcases, in our view, the best of Romania. So Romanian film talent, international film talent coming together. And we don't want to be a sponsor with a logo. It's not interesting to us. What we want to do is really provide an experience. So Romanian film experience in Cluj. Last year we did a lot of support, and this year we will also do quite heavy support around the city at the events to make sure that the beer features very prominently, so that when visitors come to Cluj they go, goodness me, there's some good beer there.
Probably the brewery, the mini breweries will be also part of the festival.
Yeah, hopefully if everything is running on time, we will do definitely some events in the mini brewery. We will probably do some more stuff the following years when all of the mini brewery is operational. And if we expand it, which I hope we will, then of course it provides more opportunity there. It's also true that the unfiltered beer, the speciality beer, should be available in June when TIFF is here, and people will be able to enjoy really super fresh, unfiltered Ursus for the first time.
So what are the beers that people, connoisseurs or aficionados of good quality beer already know, and it's already consumed in Romania, made around Europe, let's say the Belgium ales, or which one is closer as qualities and taste with your special brand of unfiltered and unpasteurized?
Well, I think what we try to do is offer a product around the core Ursus brand. Ursus is pure malt, quite high hopped, a beautiful, Central European lager. What we do with unfiltered is we don't filter, which literally means the beer looks cloudy, so when you hold it up it's not so easy to see through it, and it features some particles of yeast which are used in the process of creating alcohol, which some people believe is well, actually most people, but it's very good for your skin, and gives it, but actually the experience of the beer is much more intense, much more rich. It's a heavier by gradient beer, so it tastes, although the product base is similar to core Ursus, it will taste and experience quite different.
You won't use barley, or you just hop?
Well, we use barley malt, yes. So malt, hops, water, and nothing else.
So you mentioned the skin. So what else can you tell us about the nutritional quality of this beer?
Well, I'm not a doctor. I can tell you that I drink beer pretty much every day, and it seems to be okay so far. But beer contains a number of minerals and vitamins, which are, when consumed responsibly, is quite an important part and a perfectly healthy part of a diet. I also do a lot of running. In fact, this Sunday I'm here in Cluj to join part of the Cluj Marathon. So please, I hope people come out and see us. There's a group from Ursus going to be running. So I think I always enjoy a beer after running.
So let's talk about a little bit about the investment amount. I mean, how much you invested in this project?
Well, I mean, I think we have 3 investment categories. We have the development costs, where we develop the beer recipes, which the master brewer is doing now for testing, plus the materials. We have the investment in the brewery site itself, building facilities, and then we have the marketing and support after that. It's well over €1 million total investment. So it's a substantial investment for us. As I say, it's unique in Sadmiller. It's never been done before. The management team, myself and my colleagues were very passionate about making this happen, and we're excited that it's going to
Very interesting, exciting discussion. Unfortunately, we're at the end of the program. Grant Mackenzie, thank you very much for your explanations. And doamnelor și domnilor, vă mulțumesc pentru atenție. Nu uitați, consumați berea responsabil. Noapte bună!